Welcome everybody to Behind the Set. Aside from the regular video production that we do here at Pano Media, we also run a podcast called TheCreatives podcast where we explore creativity through conversation. And today I'm in the set, we're in between episodes. We just recorded an episode with a brand creator. Our next episode is with a director of photography. These are really awesome episodes. There's so much insight and like perspective and knowledge just packed into these episodes. I'll link it down below. This video is not about the podcast per se, it's about the production of the podcast. So I'm sitting here in the set. This actually is a new set that we're trying, but the tools that we're using to create it are the same regardless of whether we're sitting on a couch or in this case we're sitting at a nice counter. A podcast is just really, it's an on-demand talk show. It's not live. You can access it in video or audio format. Listen to it wherever you want. And I'm sure you might be familiar, you might have your own favorite podcasts, but the principles of them are all the same. It's a long format conversation, which is very enjoyable. So today I'll show you how we record podcasts here at Pano Media. We have our own and we also do some for our clients. So starting with the audio setup, you may recognize this microphone. It's the classic Shure SM7B. This is a microphone that's been in production for like a very long time, decades. And I don't think the design has changed very much. It's an industry standard, it's classic. It does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, but if you've used one of these microphones, you may have found that they are power hungry and not all recorders can handle these, especially mobile recorders. So what we're using to handle these pretty intense microphones is a Sound Devices Mix Pre 3. It's a 3-channel audio interface that can be powered by a battery. It has the most beautiful preamps inside of it. So it really does justice to these microphones. You record your audio to a memory card and there's a whole multitude of settings. I won't go too deep into how this device works because I'm still learning it, but on the basis, it takes audio from a microphone and it records it. And it records it just beautifully. You can do so much customization. So in this case, I've named track 1 host and I've named track 2 guest. So that when we're in post and we're looking at the files, we know, okay, track 1 was the host, track 2 is the guest. You can have projects within this device. It's an excellent device, well worth the investment if you're looking to up your podcast game and you want a simple solution. So the microphones run through these lovely German-made K&M stands, through these XLR cables, into the Mix Pre 3 that's recorded onto an SD card. We have these Audio-Technica headphones. These are to monitor audio so that myself and the guest can hear one another. It helps you to regulate your own levels when you're speaking. Funny enough, the video side, I'm holding it. It's the Sony a7S III. We run it with the lovely Sony G Master 24-70 lens. This just gives us flexibility for framing without moving the camera around too much. So this is where the video is recorded, audio is recorded on the Sound Devices Mix Pre 3, and then we sync them up in post. Now onto the lighting. First of all, we have our top-down overhead light. This is the main kind of source of light for the set. Over here we have this front light. So these are both Amran 200X lights. This has a dome modifier with a grid so we can control the light coming down. This one has a rectangle softbox just to give a nice kind of front light fill. Coming around over here, Amran F21X. This is our hair light. This separates our subjects from the background and gives them a nice glow because the camera is over there. And if I go over here, you can kind of see all the lights hitting me nicely. Assuming we did this right, and it should look pretty nicely lit, even though I'm not exactly in the set where it should be. And then coming over here, we have the Amran P60. This is just a square LED panel with RGB and adjustable color temp, kind of beaming it through this plant and through this plant to get a nice, just a little something on the wall. Is a Amran, no, this is an Aperture MC. So the reason I stuck a video light in that lamp is because the hue bulbs in there were showing these banding, flickering things, and I thought it looked kind of weird. So yeah, that's behind the set of a podcast production. There's many ways you can produce a podcast. This is just how we did it. So let me know in the comments what you think of this setup. If there's anything that you've seen here that you might improve on, or anything that you do on your sets that you've seen here, let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. But for now, I hope you have a lovely day and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.